There's a story Willie Nelson likes to tell, one he's repeated in interviews, songs, and even courtrooms. When he was a young boy in Abbott, Texas's grandfather gave him some advice. Son, always be kind, work hard, and whatever you do, stay high. Now, most people laugh when they hear that, but Willie insists it's true. And whether it's literal or not, it captures something essential about him, because for Willie Nelson, marijuana isn't just a habit, it's a thread woven through every part of his life: music, survival, rebellion, healing, and freedom. And this journey began long before fame, long before outlaw country, back when he was just a poor kid, trying to make sense of a broken world in the 1940s and 50s. Weed wasn't illegal in the way it is today, especially in rural Texas. It grew wild along fences and back roads. Farmhands smoked it after long days in the fields. Musicians passed joints between sets. Willie first tried it in his early 20s, sitting backstage at a honky-tonk in San Antonio. He didn't feel euphoric. He didn't panic. He just felt normal for someone who struggled with anxiety, insomnia, and the pressure of chasing a dream. That was everything. He said later, marijuana didn't change me. It made me more like myself, so he kept smoking, even as Nashville tried to shape him into something he wasn't: polished, predictable, professional. Willie stayed loose, grounded, present, while other artists drank themselves into oblivion. Willie reached for a joint, and slowly, over time, it became part of his identity, not because he wanted to shock people, but because he refused to lie. In 1973, during a concert in Austin, he lit up on stage right in front of thousands. Security rushed over. Fans cheered. Willie just smiled and said, "Relax. It's not a crime against humanity. Except, technically, it was. At the time, possession could mean years in prison, especially in Texas. But Willie didn't hide. Instead, he turned his arrests into statements. Each time he was caught in airports, at border crossings, on tour buses, he responded the same way, with humor, with honesty, with defiance. After a 1994 raid on his ranch where agents seized hundreds of plants, $20,000 in cash, and even Trigger, yes, the guitar, Willie didn't rage. He joked, "I'm glad they left my dog." Then he wrote a song about it and played it live the next night. That's the thing about Willie. He's never treated his cannabis use as a scandal. He treats it like breathing. And while others might have been ruined by repeated legal trouble, Willie used it to fuel a movement. By the 1980s, he was one of the loudest voices calling for legalization, not from a podium, not in a lab coat, but from the heart. He said, "People are in jail for smoking a plant. Meanwhile, alcohol kills thousands every year, and we serve it at weddings." He didn't understand the double standard, and he wasn't afraid to say so. He headlined NORML benefits, spoke at rallies, donated proceeds from concerts to drug policy reform, and in 2010, he helped launch the Teapot Party, a political movement named after the Boston Tea Party, advocating for hemp legalization and an end to prohibition. But Willie didn't just fight the system, he built a new one. In 2015, he launched Willie's Reserve, one of the first nationally recognized cannabis brands backed by a celebrity. But this wasn't about getting rich, it was about control. Willie wanted to ensure that cannabis was grown ethically, tested safely, and sold fairly. He worked with small farmers, insisted on organic practices, pushed for social equity, making sure communities hurt by the war on drugs had a place in the legal industry. And when states began legalizing, Willie didn't just celebrate. He said, "It's about damn time." But perhaps the deepest reason Willie stands by cannabis isn't political, it's personal. It's helped him through pain. It's physical and emotional. Years of touring, a bad back, emphysema, the stress of fame, taxes, loss. And yet, well into his 90s, he still performs over 70 shows a year. How? He credits a lot of things: faith, family, music, but also, quietly, consistently marijuana. It helps him sleep, eases inflammation, quiets his mind before bed, and yes, it still makes him laugh in interviews. He'll often pause mid-sentence, grin, and say, "I don't know what I was talking about." Then he keeps going. Because this isn't addiction. This is lifestyle. A peaceful alternative to pills, booze, or silence. And for millions of fans, veterans, patients, working people, Willie isn't just a singer. He's proof. Proof that you can live a full, productive, meaningful life while using cannabis openly, responsibly, without shame. He's shown that you can be spiritual without religion, healthy without pharmaceuticals, free without breaking the law. Now that laws are changing, and when he says, "Roll me up and smoke me when I die," it's not just a punchline, it's a philosophy, a final act of unity with the plant that walked beside him through every low and every high, through bankruptcy, through heartbreak, through fame and failure and rebirth. Marijuana didn't make Willie Nelson, but it held his hand while he became himself. Tomorrow, we'll turn our focus to the words that made him immortal, the quiet genius behind lyrics that have defined heartbreak, love, and the open road. This is Willie Nelson Daily. See you tomorrow.